Gary Miller from Red Bloom Realty, back again with another real estate vocabulary term. Today I want to talk to you about appraisals. And sometimes people get appraisals confused with inspections and assessments. Both of those are different things. I'm not going to unpack what all of these are today, but I do want to talk with you about appraisals. Because appraisal can definitely have an impact on your purchase of a home or your selling of a home. Essentially, what an appraisal is a lender's attempt at determining appropriate market value of a home. And generally, if you were buying a home and that home cost roughly what other homes in the same area were costing, the appraisal would probably come and go without a whole lot of fanfare. But where it does, in fact, come into play more dramatically is in markets like today's, where there is a competitive environment and prices are being driven up by multiple offers and bidding wars. And what can happen in those situations is, let's pretend like a home was offered at $225,000. And there were multiple offers, and that drove the price up to $245,000. Let's say an appraiser then comes in on behalf of a lender and says this home is not worth $245,000. It's only worth $235,000. The impact that would have would likely be that the lender is then going to put a cap on how much lending they are going to allow on that home. And in this example, there would be a $10,000 gap between the offered price and what the lender is willing to cover in their loan. So what's going to happen in a situation like this is the buyer is really then going to have to figure out how to cover that gap. Now, it is often the case, though certainly not always, that a seller who doesn't want the deal to blow up will contribute to helping this. But in a competitive environment, that's much less likely to happen. And again, the net impact is going to be that the buyer would have to come up with $10,000 out of their pocket to cover that difference. So again, the appraisal is really sort of a third-party assessment of market value. And sometimes we hear that the value of a home is what the market will bear, and that can certainly be true in terms of the sales price, but we mustn't forget that the appraisal will ultimately determine the market value, especially for that loan approval. If you have any questions about this, certainly I know it can get complicated. Feel free to get in touch with me, Gary at redbloomrealty.com. Thanks.